Was there any players in your first year junior or first year or two in pro that you could point out that kind of took you under their wing and showed you some things, whether it be at the rink, in the gym, or maybe it's off ice stuff? There's a lot of, guys that, have to mature in all aspects of being a pro hockey player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my first year pro, I lived with PA Parenteau, who went on to play in the NHL. So uh, that was a guy who was, I don't know, he would have been probably 4 or 5 years older than me. I moved into a house with him, and you just kind of learn the pro lifestyle, I guess. I mean, I went from junior to having a billet make meals for me, and waking me up for school and all this and all that. And now you're 20 years old and expected to do everything an adult does. And I mean, you're not going to be eating out every meal and, all that stuff. So I think I learned a lot of the things at a young age from PA, just from living with them. And then uh, in terms of one guy that I watched or learned from, I think when we were coming up, it was a lot of older guys, right? So it wasn't just one guy I watched. It was almost everyone on a daily basis. You see how hard they worked on the ice, and then after the ice, they're in the gym and doing their thing, right? So when you see older guys and especially the American League guys that had been in the NHL and were on their way down, those were kind of the guys that I looked at and thought like, okay, this guy's been in the NHL, like he knows what it takes, and he's still working this hard on the ice and just as hard off the ice. So those were the guys I looked at, not one guy in specifically, but yeah. I mean, like how watching Wade Redden, right? Like he was in the gym after practice, like last guy there, and he played 995 NHL games.
Yeah.
Like he
In the
had nothing.
AHL, he was doing this right. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
he had
Time.
nothing. Yeah, nothing to prove in the American League, but he's still so professional. And you watch a guy like that, it's just a routine. And I'm
Yeah.
sure it wouldn't have mattered if he was anywhere else. He would have been doing the same thing.
Yeah, and that's a big part of what I'm trying to influence to all these viewers, young players especially, is as you said, it's a routine, but it's a lifestyle. That's what he chooses to do, what he enjoys to do. Like Wade was stretching there for a long time. He just knew what he had to do. All of us have different challenges and issues, whether we have hip issues, we have past injuries, or whatever the case may be. Maybe guys just like to be really loose, and you got to kind of know. That's the difference too. As a pro, you got to know what you need yourself to be prepared for that next day or that next practice or game or whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another important point too you brought up. I think the older you get and the longer you play, you know what you need. My warm up's probably not going to be the same as your warm up, right?
Yeah.
So I think getting a routine and finding what works for you is something that you have to do. I was never huge on team warm ups because I truly believe, I'm not saying like a team warm up on the ice, off the ice before you go on. I truly believe that every player is different and everyone prepares differently. So I never had anything against team warm-ups, but I always like teams where you're able to do things on your own individually before, just because everybody prepares in a different manner. And like you said, everyone needs different things and knows their body or what they're feeling at a certain time. So
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with them to conclude?
I don't think so, Wonger. Nothing else. I don't want to get into any of the crazy stories. Trip down memory lane.
Yeah, it was great to have you on. Thank you very much for all those viewers. Devin Didiomete, former teammate with the Hartford Wolfpack. He was signed to an entry-level contract by the New York Rangers. Played with many, many NHLers in that organization and obviously against a lot of players in the AHL. But yeah, just for all those players out there, right? We all have our different strengths and weaknesses, but if you can find your niche and stick to that, focus on what you need to do and sacrifice and most of all, obviously, have the passion and love the game and what your goals are. You can achieve anything. Um, yeah, thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll hope to bring you back again soon.
Thanks for having me, Wonger, and all the young guys out there listening. You just hit the nail on the head there. The passion, and don't ever let anyone tell you can't do anything. If you work hard enough and you have your mindset and you have goals, you just pick away at it day by day, and trust the process, and good things are going to happen.
Great. Thanks, Deeds.
See you guys later. Thanks a lot.